And then there was this crop circle in 2002. I really worked hard at drawing it into and making it into wood with the laser, because there turns out to be 504 squares in this like DNA chain around there. 504 squares. Why would they send us a message with 504 squares? Well, if we take the number 7, we can find that the number 7 is the center of the numbering system, mathematically or geometrically, because 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7, actually, if you go stop at 6, it equals 720, and 8 times 9 times 10 equals 720. So by multiplication, 7 is in the middle, equidistant from each side, the 1 or the 10. Now, 7 times 720 turns out to be 5,040. 504. That's how they do things in Kabbalistic terms. They drop off the zeros. So that crop circle was telling us about the 7 number. And if we look at the planet from space and measure the radius of the Earth and the radius of the moon, so this is a very strange thing, but the radius from the center of the moon to its edge, the center of the Earth to its edge, and add them together, we get 5,040 miles. That same number. Coincidence? We know there are no coincidences. So somebody set this up as a definite geometric relationship. So I found, though, that this 7-axis of spin, that if you hold this up on one peg, you could actually take and find other rotations around it using the pegs. There were 3 rotations going around it, no matter how I looked at it. And I had watched a video that was put out by the Academy for Future Science, J.J. Hurtak's Keys of Enoch group. And in this video called The Light Body, it's at the keysofenoch.org, there's this object over here on the side. And it has 3 rings going around it, just like this would have if I put rings around it. So if we look at a blow-up of that picture, you can maybe see it better. It's hard because this was a video, and I had to take this picture from a video. But these rings that go around it were amazing, because I found that if I took and made a ring to go around this, I had to fit this shape into something. And this shape turned out to be a diamond. Take this shape here and put it in here. So this is a diamond vehicle, as talked about in the Bible and other works. So it just fits right over the top of it, no matter which way I put this. So there would be 3 of these around this to make that complete setup. That's where I first saw the diamond as a kid, yes. You notice they use these symbols on us. They use them all the time, but we don't recognize them. Now this crop circle takes us on another route. This crop circle appeared in England again in Marden, and the interesting thing was they told me to count these number of diamonds in the middle. It turns out that there are 4 rows of 18, which is 72. 72. Now, I don't want to steal Chet's thunder because he's got a lot of stuff to show you this year on why the number 72 was important in crop circles, so I'm going to let him do that on his night speech. I'm just showing you this one crop circle with 72. But Chet found there was a lot of them this year that seemed to resonate with 72, and I think I found out some reasons why. Now, in the Keys of Enoch material, we have a book that is made up of the 72 divine names of God. And if we take a dodecahedron again, which is this shape, And according to Plato, they called this shape the ether. If you wanted to go by Plato's definitions, this one was fire, this one was the earth, this one, the octahedron, was the air, and this one was water. So their definitions of elements was different than ours. But this one was the ether. It went around everything. It went around into space, combined, surrounded the entire earth. And this shape, made up of pentagons, actually has got all the angles at 72. Because 5 times 72 is 360. So this is a very important shape. Now, in studying my Keys of Enoch book again, I found, first of all, on the internet, the pentagon being the shape of the DNA molecule, and the icosahedron, this shape here. And if we were to smash them together, make them into one thing, we get this object, which I have here, which is this. And in the Keys of Enoch, it talked about when Enoch tells us the heat envelope code has a 36-36 flow pattern, he's explaining the balance and sequence development of the program sent from the throne being used for the architecture of this universe. The 36-36 flow pattern carries the harmonics and sets of cosmic vibrations out of which the architecture of the lower celestial region is shaped. So in this object here, we have got 10 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the black points and 5 of the white points. 10 points. So this object here is a grid pattern of the 36-36 flow pattern of energy around the Earth. This is the object that allows us for the architecture of this particular universe we're living in. Now, I found what we need to do, though, is we need to take, like this picture of the grid of the Earth from the internet. If you look at this, you can kind of see how they got this drawn with the radiations going out. And this central point here has got 5 of them. And then they've got like 10 also. They've got like 5 one way and 5 another way. And we need to make this object, which is a dodecahedron, again, this one object here, but it has points on it. So now we've got points on it, or it's called stellated. And this object is the grid of love. So in order to change this object to this object, we need to rotate. We need to take the caps off and rotate them 36 degrees and put them back on so that they are in the right place instead of the wrong place. And then we will have love generated around this planet, get rid of the war and have peace. So we find that this particular cap, though, is too small, so we're going to have to do a meditation to breathe the energy into the cap and rotate it 36 degrees and blow it up so that it becomes this object or this grid. Now the Mayan calendar enters the 5th night on Sunday, or Monday. Today is Sunday. So on Monday, we're going to start the 5th night of the Mayan calendar, which in definition-wise is looking at more of an end to the, or dissolution of the material world and the start of a more spiritual world.